have my hair down.
You should have like a wet leg.
We
Have a
are
sumo
live.
ponytail.
Kind of wet. How does that look?
Get like a super high sumo ponytail. I got his red teeth.
Do you mind upping and then outing us? And calling it? Oh, wow. Make some noise at the Untitled double mic here at Dragonfly.
Wow. My name is Ricky D. I'm one of your co-hosts today.
My name is Nikolai Shide. I am also one of your co-hosts for tonight.
Amazing, yeah. Y'all could be anywhere on this beautiful summer-like Wednesday, but you are here in a very air-conditioned venue. Let's make some noise for Dragonfly Cafe for being our venue. We have an open mic for y'all. We've been doing this open mic for over 18 years.
Wow.
You can smoke. That's right.
The untitled tattoos. I still think it's a good idea.
I didn't show you my head. So anyway, but we do this twice a month, the first and third Wednesday of every month. We wanted to have a place where folks can get together, have a platform to share stories, poetry, song, music, just a place for folks to express themselves and be a community with one another. And y'all are that community. Y'all showing up today. So let's do a round of applause for y'all. So we'll do some quick housekeeping. Wonderful event for y'all. So every open mic, sign-up sheet, folks can sign up, share some work, and then we have our main event. The first Wednesday of every month, we have a poetry slam, and that's kind of like a poetry competition where folks compete for with their own poetry. We have judges, scoring, prizes, sometimes blood, usually blood, and then
There's always blood. What are you talking
There's
about?
always
Don't
blood.
know it now. I don't know.
All right. This is rated E.
Somebody else's though.
Still a little slippery here from the last event. Anyway, and then we have on our third Wednesdays is we have a feature. Okay, today is which one? The third Wednesday.
Today is the feature, but it's not just any feature. It is the MCC showcase feature.
We don't have one writer, one performer, one poet. We actually have a wonderful lineup of 4 talented students and alums representing Middlesex Community College. It's going to be a good time. If you're a student or an alum from MCC, can we also get some noise for that too? Nice. We love that. So how the open mic works, we don't go in any particular order. We'd like to let y'all know who's on deck and who's up next. And we have about 3 to 5 minutes to share some poetry. We want to recognize that Dragonfly Cafe, this venue is our home for the evening. All right. We want it to be a very cute, vibey space. Can I say that? Cute and vibey.
Comfy.
Cozy. We also want it to be a space that could be also a creative space, a brave space, a space that is also supportive, gives good energy. And it's not just Nikolai, myself, and our other co-organizers and co-hosts that's doing that. We want to share that responsibility with everyone here. So with that, do our best to uphold a space, a home that we want to feel good and feel like we want to be a part of. Can I get yeah? Okay, all right. There's some problematic shit out there, all right? There's some harmful shit out there. We don't want you to get on this microphone and spew hate to our neighbors, our community members. It's not a space for that, okay? But doesn't mean you have to be nice.
So be nice.
Be necessary.
That's right, okay? You come up here, start dialogue, speak your truth, uplift the narratives that you feel like is important for us to hear as a community. What we like to say is fuck shit up, but
No fucked up shit.
and we'll let you know when you fucked up, okay? All right, we can all grow from that. Cool. Nikolai, you want to add some more about how we want to keep this home cozy?
Yes, there's nothing less comfortable than needing to go to the bathroom. So if you find yourself in that situation, there are gendered restrooms on this floor that are key accessible. The keys are located by the registers. There are also gendered restrooms on the floor below us that are not locked. There's more stalls, and there's better lighting for mirror selfies. We take these things very seriously, I can assure you. What else? Ricky and I make it look very easy to stand up here and like, do what we do. But some people get nervous on the microphone, so we ask that out of respect for the performers on stage as well as the other folks in the audience around you. Although we do encourage dialogue, and we'll get into call and response and stuff in just a secondino. But we shut up.
I like that.
Let me do my job. We do ask that, well, especially while people are performing, any side conversations, just keep the volume to a minimum. Some people around you might have a harder time hearing, just be respectful of that, and also the folks up here. We used to have a rule, and we've been really bad at enforcing this, but we used to have this rule that if your phone goes off while someone's performing, you buy them a drink or something. Not everyone's financially able to do that, so like, please don't let that scare you. But still, just
put your phone on quiet.
Yeah. What else? If you know that you're going to be sharing a piece of work that has stronger themes or stronger content, we do ask that you please give the room a trigger warning. And then audience, do what you need to do to protect your piece and yourself. There are exits and bathrooms as we've established. Feel free to move in and out of the space. And on that note, we ask that everyone is respectful of people's both emotional and physical boundaries on and off the microphone. Just because someone shares something about a particular subject, they might not necessarily want to have a whole conversation about that afterwards, So just, I was going to say feel things out, but don't touch people if you don't know them. Boundaries, that's what we ask.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nikolai. Yeah, this open mic, we might have some heavy shit, we have some light shit. Shit might happen on this mic, but the good thing is we like shit, all right? So I don't know how often we can plug the bathroom, but if you are sharing something brand new on this open mic today, we have something called new shit.
New shit!
Maybe it's a little bit, crusty, dusty. A little dusty. You have some old shit.
Oh shit!
And then you have all this shit in between.
In between shit!
You get it. You say the thing and we say the thing back. Okay? Cool.
No, it's you say the thing and shit, and we say the thing and shit back. I was the one who wasn't here last time.
Okay, all right. We're missing it, Nikolai. What happened? Also, ways to not only respect the mic, we want to show love, right? Love is another thing that we can feel and we can practice. So if you hear stuff that you rock with, you see stuff you rock with, this is a poetry event, so we're gonna do some snapping. Can we practice snapping real quick? If you can't snap, just do it. It looks cool, it feels cool, Somebody sound
little finger hearts. Just hope people don't hear you.
Yeah. Maybe we just finished performing. You want to clap for the guests? Can we practice? I don't know. Maybe you got like a very delicious rap from Drag Fight. Can I get a yeah? Can I get a? So do your thing. Respond, have fun, give energy. That is really important to give that energy. And if it's your first time on this open mic, let us know. We'd love to celebrate you.
If it is your second time on the Untitled microphone, you are somewhat legally obligated to let us know. If it's your third time, yeah, especially me. Come on, guys. It'll make my day. If it's your third time, we love you, but you don't have to say anything. We gotta stop it somewhere. You'll find out why.
Amazing. All right. I know we're doing a lot of yapping. You have a lot of patience. Y'all probably ready for an open mic. All right.
Which is just more yapping.
You're right. I just want y'all to know that we do have our community library in the front. If you feel like want to check out some books while you're here, we also do video record and street, this event for our international homies, because we like that. We like that. So give me all a heads up on that, okay? You know who's on deck?
On deck, we have Teddy. Teddy, you are on deck.
Awesome. Up next, the first one's gonna break this ice.
Smash it.
Fuck ice. Please welcome and make some noise for Nicola!
Alrighty, I have some new shit.
New shit.
This is very different from stuff you've probably heard from me previously. I wrote this for a zine I'm going to be participating in. I don't have enough information about it to actually give it to you all, but I'll let you know at some point. All right. A man in a lab coat looks up and asks, "What are you?" If I tell him that I'm a collection of flesh and bone and blood, I'd be telling him something he already knows. So instead, I tell him, I am what I always am. I am the dull ache in your chest when a heartbreakingly beautiful song comes on. I am the solace found in the soil that is watered by your tears. I am the carnivorous urge to sink your teeth into something warm. I am the voice in your head that screams at the people who hurt you, the voice that tells you to rip them to shreds. I am the breath that catches in your throat when you remember all that you've done to yourself. I am the universe collapsing in on itself in an infinite display of colors and ether and cosmic lust. I am the God you will never pray to because I am not a God. I am not a God. Am I a monster? The man in the lab coat looks up from his notepad, where it's scribbled feverishly in black ink. He looks expectantly. Am I a monster? I may not be hiding under your bed or stalking you in the streets. I'm not the ghoul in your shadow that makes you pray in the dark. I'm not the murderer that keeps a stash of bones in the closet. I'm not a blood-sucking vermin who wants to breathe in your death. I'm not a man who feeds on innocence. You're not a monster, says the man in the lab coat. I am everything I have ever been and nothing I've never been. I am nothing I have yet to become and everything I've never done. I am the man in a lab coat who asks himself what he is and tries to make sense of the abstract in an attempt to better understand what is and what isn't. The man in the lab coat looks up again from the notepad. He places it on a desk and rises from his chair. He walks towards the mirror, reeling back his shoulder and thrusting it forward. His fist collides with the glass. The surface cracks and splays like a spider's web, and fractal pieces fall to the floor. The man in the coat inspects his bloodied knuckles with trigger warning blood. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. I'm sorry. The man in a lab coat inspects his bloody knuckles with a melancholy wonder. He walks back over to the desk, sits in the chair, claims the notepad, and writes one final note. Flesh and bone and blood. Yeah! Alrighty. I'm still here. You can't get rid of me just yet. Also, I'm not crying. My eyes just watered. I was like, that probably looked really I'm feeling it. I was, but anyway. Full transparency. I'm gonna be doing this. Oh no, I have hand sanitizer. Don't worry, I'm not gonna get my eyes. Anyway, on deck, we have Nick. Nick, you are on deck. Up next, we have the one, the only. I don't think I've seen him since Christmas of 2024. Oh. Teddy, make some noise.
So last time that I was here, at the beginning of the month, I had nothing new to read because everything that was new was too long to read. And so I committed to writing something within that time. And of course, in typical fashion, I didn't finish it until last minute. So this is first draft. I'm still a little rough with it, but
First draft.
Whatever that response.
We tried.
Since I had no idea what to write about, I figured I would write about having no idea what to write about. So this one's called I've Got Nothing. Sitting at the coffee shop, the baristas know my name. I've been here 1,000 times, but every time's the same. The clock counts up, but the word count won't follow, and every idea comes back hollow. My coffee has gone cold, my music's gotten old. Ink won't start and keys won't don't succeed, and I'm trying to bleed, but there's a tourniquet too tight around my heart. And when blood's not gushing, guts won't spill, so my hand is still, and still, and still, and still, I've got nothing. So I start a new page and pen a new line. I make a new document and type a new line. Now it's going to be different, surely this time. Glide the pen, rhythm the keys, put down words and bleed and bleed and bleed. Make it profound, let it resound, let it ring, let it ring, let it ring. So when the time comes and I'm finally on that stage, I'll shoot my only shot. I'll give them all I got, but there's only one line written on that page. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. I got nothing.
All right, give it up for Teddy. On deck, we have. It's either Willow or William. Is it
Willow?
Okay, just making sure. I'm sorry.
Like one of these days I'll be like nice.
Because like there might be like a William. I don't know. Maybe you're just here for vibes. So Willow, you're on deck. Okay. But up next we have the homie Nick. Clap till Nick
I have two here. They're both pretty short, so like it's fine. The first one is called 50% Sure. I pour my coffee into a cup marked eat, sleep, real estate, repeat. I've never done real estate. It's set on a table, I'm only 50% sure, was gifted by my cousin. What a beautiful thing to have so much life. You forget most of it. That one was very positive, so this one's got to be dark.
Dark shit. Dark shit.
This one's called Why Do Little Boys Dream of Drowning? I spent many summer mornings with my brothers in the waist-high waters of the community pool. Sweat would stain our half-bare bodies, so we would glisten like gladiators moving into battle. We would do laps until our pruny hands gave way, leaving us in dead man's float. Then we'd compete to hold our breath the longest, until we'd feel our bodies getting light and loose, sitting on the edge of death until we decided we'd proved enough. Boys played war and replicated the masculinity they learned from action movies. Then the older boys would hold us underwater, and below the palms of their calloused hands, we would feel the shake of a full body laugh. The lifeguards let it be. Boys will be boys after all. They don't know an urge existed in all of them to not let go until the struggling stopped.
There is a Willow and a William, but I read the William as Willow, but Willow, you're good. Is there a William in the room? Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay, I got confused. Even and anyway, that aside,
You're doing amazing.
What's it called? Demonstration time. English good. Microphones. Adjusting the microphones. We really need to like work this into like the initial like routine of housekeeping.
Fun fact: it is on the hose field in our docs discipline.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, when was the last time I read that?
This isn't the place that we do it.
Anyway. Wait, these are new to me. I don't know how to adjust them.
I think the bar. Just a bar.
There's a bar?
You did it great. Yeah.
You can put the music on for this. Oh, okay. Ask one of them for help if you gotta adjust the microphone. Additionally, good night, so useful. Additionally, feel free to approach. There are seats up front, and we would love to see your beautiful faces. I was told to say this, okay? Stop laughing at me, I'm gonna cry.
You're doing great, Nikolai.
You got this.
We all love you.
Oh. So on deck we have William. Just so I can get the two W's out of the way. Watch, could be like another W. Make some noise for Willow! Clap it
Okay, how's everybody doing? Alright, I have some new shit for you. I wrote this for a workshop. My professor's here, so everybody behave.
Yeah.
Alright. Doesn't have a title yet. Queer as in resilient, in a country, in a world trying to kill us. As in endangered. 12 years after being given permission to love, to exist, and it's taken away again because it's just that easy. Queer as in afterthought, as in, oh right, you do exist, as in forgotten because we do not exist for the benefit, the convenience of others. Queer as in resistance, sure, battling with discourse that somehow becomes our problem, but also queer as in history, found in crevices of alleyways and underground tunnels and stone walls. Queer as in mom, I like girls, like girls, and as in her response, I know baby being enough. Queer as in late to everything, a 26-year-old still waiting for a calling, and queer as in fuck you, as in I will exist until I don't, and your venom spit won't change that. Queer as in dyke, as in dirty words spilled to make you jump back and clutch your pearls, as in lesbian, capital L, making you flinch, while I scream from rooftops until my city decides to listen.
Yeah.
On deck we have Peter. Peter, you are on deck. Up next we have the homie William. Clap to William.
I'm not going to adjust the microphone stand because I'm very tall and it's unfair to everybody else. I'm just going to stand here like a weirdo.
Got it.
This poem is after Sharon Olds and Corinne Glenn. I have to go back to winter 1987 and put a stop to things. I can see them beaming in their checkered cloak, their smile bright as the sun and half a Gannon's wide. I can see the season's first snowfall, flat white like a hospital ward. Their grandfather clothed in fire, kneeling behind the trophy buck, fur matted with blood crust, antlers spiked against the sky, twin spears guarding the gates of heaven. Lifeless ears still frozen, pinned back and alert to danger. There's death in this vignette, even if the snow is spotless. The child in this photograph, they're young, just a kid. They don't yet know how the fear of hellfire, the inescapability of sin will freeze them for years, like a white tail at first gunshot. They don't know all the stories their family buries deep in the wardrobe to be forgotten. All they know right now is that Pawpaw is the nearest they've got to a hero. Drives a big truck that growls just like a grizzly bear. Offers them a can of Mountain Dew at supper on the nights they sleep over, while mom and dad both work the late shift. Reassures them when their throat closes tight with fear they've been abandoned that their parents will bring them home in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I have to find a way to meet them in that forest. I have to warn them. What? What warning can I give to someone who's full of awe and worship? That the only men they know to look up to, they'll one day learn are sometimes monsters? Soon enough, they'll learn that on their own. There's no chance of avoiding it. Sooner than they're ready for, there'll be a horrible storm spiraling in their head, and for years they won't know why. Right now, all they know is a dimpled smile. Pawpaw just landed the biggest buck this side of the Allegheny, and they're the one who got to stand behind him as the camera flashed. But soon, there's malice coming. Some deep gray gloom will fall on their shoulders like fog, and I want to tell them these few years you've seen are the last ones where peace and safety will be a given. Sorry, it gets much more horrifying from here. One day you'll remember terrible things you can't imagine would ever have been done by someone who said they loved you, and those horrible memories will roll and boil inside you like the oil from Drake's well. The day your past pushes itself out of you, it will vent like a coal fire, and you will do horrible things you could never imagine yourself doing to people you say you love. I know there are so many days ahead of them where they will want to die. I know they'll search for it. I want to take their sweet, innocent, chubby cheeks in my hands and tell them, it's so much better for us both if you just stay here forever.
On deck, we have the mid-roll announcements. Already, I know. Wow. But up next we have the Mill City Spider-Man himself. Make some noise for Peter!
Hi everybody. Hey, what's up? Every time I come here, it feels like the first time.
Do you wanna?
Maybe, not gonna lie. It feels like the first time because it feels like I'm totally present. Just like I'm present when I'm listening to y'all. I really feel present in the moment. And on that note, while I feel present, this one is actually about the past. 1 year ago this month, actually. So 1 year ago, shit.
1 year ago,
Yeah.
There once was a girl who lived on Dead Star Beach, a secluded seaside, serene surroundings with small sprinkles of sand, both soft and strong. Colored with a clear coat of warm breeze and blue skies, the morning sun beamed hello. As bright as daybreak with a crescent moon in the background. I don't know how it got here, but there she was, sitting on top of a blanket in her bikini. Her patient presence glowed as the sun kissed her skin. Her curly hair waved in the wind like a willow, and her bird earrings kept her company as they sang maybe a mellow melody to her, like she was a fire-feathered phoenix. Her aura, iridescent like her nose ring, changed colors depending on how I looked at her. She stared out into the open world until we caught each other's gaze. Her glasses, like telescope lenses where I caught myself stargazing, all the history and wonder. Bravery, bravery blurred my first words. I heard an endless ocean speak her name as she shook my hand, charmed. She was a water child who falls asleep to the sounds of nature as she chose the beach as a place to rest her soul. A reminder that her breath comes in waves while still searching for her home. I don't know where the time went, but moments became memories in the blink of story eyes. Hot days of adventure, beat with indigenous drums, swimming in a body of depth, comfort food like childhood prayers, holding hands like an art of healing each other, and a first kiss on her beach. Blended with cool nights of exploration, harmonized with everlasting laughter, living our lives out loud on stages and dancing together like quantum entangled stars underneath the full moon. I don't know when the weather changed, but the wind became cold like indifference, and the waning moon suddenly looked like a lonely spotlight through the foggy air. We're back exactly where we first met when I finally said, I love you. Words echoed in the fleeting wind. It felt like forever, like words on a page until she finally said, this is just a dream, and I can't give you what you need. My breath held hostage inside these walls that could only watch with quivering lips. But we sat together side by side on the rock as the sun started setting, holding hands, crying softly, like we were watching the sky falling as we watched our day together end, watched our dream together end. As the last bit of light lit out, I gasped as I opened my eyes, waking up alone. Never have I ever wanted to snooze when I was with her, so I rushed back to Dead Star Beach, faster than any race against time. It looked exactly like how I remembered it, except it was twilight and only half the moon because she was no longer there. I sat down on the same rock and closed my eyes. Maybe I'll see her again when I open them. Maybe not. Maybe the price of a dream coming true about a life with her was lost. But I stood up, eyes still closed, and started humming the song of us that I know is not lost. I started dancing our steps like stanzas, dancing by myself, dancing with the world, and dancing with her memory. Then I started thinking out loud, hoping she can hear me. Thank you.
On deck, we have Hazel. Where's Hazel? Hazel. Hazel! The pole was in the way. Hello, Hazel. You're up there. I love you, Hazel. But up next, we have the one, the only, Connor.
My name's Connor. We're going to get through these mid-roll announcements pretty quick so we can get back to this open mic. And we have a pretty amazing feature tonight.
Oh yeah!
Featuring yours truly.
Yeah,
And
Connor.
Elizabeth, Blue, and Ez. So excited to hear them read. But first things first, Low Poetry Wheel. Yes, that is us. We only have 3 spokes. And because we only have 3 spokes, we're pretty wobbly as we wobble down the road. But there are 3 very important spokes. We have the Untitled Open Mic, which we are at right here, right now. Mill City Speaks, which is our poetry slam team. And we have Reverse, which is our youth poetry program. And one of the amazing things about coming to any of our venues, any of our events, is that we do not charge a cover fee at all. We operate solely on grants and donations. Now, what does that mean? That means we are broke as hell.
Yeah.
So, the late and great Dr. Douglas Bishop had a tradition here where he would take off his hat, pass it around to everyone in the crowd. If you had a little bit of extra money, we'd be really appreciative if you put some extra money in the hat. If you have nothing but vibes, put some vibes in the hat. If you don't give a damn, just keep passing the hat along. I do want to emphasize that you want to first put all your money towards Dragonfly Cafe and tip the amazing staff here. And then, if you have any extras, really great to give us. And Rikov generously lets us use his grandfather's hat to continue that tradition.
Saying I need to set us free.
So we also have some upcoming events. So we have the Yaz Fest at the University of New Hampshire this Friday and Saturday.
Oh yeah.
We have a 4x4 slam that's featuring Mill City Speaks this Friday night. And then the great Gregory Glenn will be hosting an event this Saturday with our homies Ricky, Kez, and McKendy. That's going to be awesome as well. Please make sure to visit our welcome center right up front at the end of the long table. We have our email sign-up list. We have our community library. We always have t-shirts and notebooks too to talk to my fellow co-presenters. Nikolai's standing there waving and all of this stuff. For the venue, last call for food. Kitchen closes at 8 o'clock, bar at 8:30. Yep. Okay, so make sure you get your last calls in. Then don't forget to give us a follow at Low Poetry Wheel on Instagram. Our website's lowpoetry.com. I think that's it. All right, and I am going to call Mike up to the stage. We're going to continue this open mic. All right? Thanks, everyone.
Whoa, Nikolai, you put on like 300 pounds and you're hairy now. Cool. I'm saying that I greatest passing queer you'll ever meet. All right, we're just gonna keep rolling on here. Neil, my homie, you're gonna be on deck for us. But this next homie is a leader of an off tribe of Pikmin that is slowly but surely taking over the cafe. So let's give a round of applause for Hazel.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
My name is Hazel Adeline. She, heard. I'm going to read 2 poems today. One is short, one's a little longer. The first one, shorter one, is called Cold Moon. Cold Moon. The decadence of lips lightly tapping mine, pulling away, breath heavy. An exhale down my throat leaves a draft inside. And I've been here before, yet before was drunken or high or meaningless. With you, my chest and neck are bruised soft, sober with heart, and I wake up, sober with no bruises, bed empty, wishing I could sleep longer in the arms of my subconscious. This next one is new. It's called Wax, Sea Glass, Things That Melt. Gazing up and down as a dripping candle, he expects me to melt. But I am not warm-blooded. I am the serpentine demon wrapping around his fantasy, transmutating into nightmares. I am the blood in his erected spire, unwanted. Tantalizing daydreams into a bigot's head is akin to bumping cocaine, a head rush into dissociation, the objectified numbness of sex without love, without passion. I have no compassion for the users of my nubile body, 19 years old, face painted with makeup and semen, naive, fucking when I didn't want to, fucking in my sleep, sleeping to drown out the outer space noise only to be met with her or him or them in my nightmares, trying to hit them away, but my arm is too weak, or the invisible wall won't allow it, or I'm trying to push them off, but their weight suffocates and I recoil, give in. And so I dilapidate as glass in the sea, a softer kind of hardness, a softer cut to sandy skin. I sometimes wish I can make them all bleed like sea glass with my eyes closed, but revenge is not what I want. All I truly want is to wipe my brain clean of the grains. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, just in case you didn't know, Hazel has some fucking bang in her music. You should definitely look out for Hazel on Spotify. Yeah, no problem. Cool. On deck, going to do the homie Sasha. This next homie is the union leader for the Koopa Troopas. So let's give a round of applause for Neil, everybody.
Hello, everybody. All right, so I got a question for y'all. Do y'all want old shit or new shit? New shit! I heard more new shit, but that might have just been because of Mike.
I said both.
Okay, so this one is a little bit. This one is so. Almost 9 months ago, I had a really bad problem with alcohol. And if it wasn't for my friends or my dad, I probably would not be here. And I have been trying to pull inspiration from that because, God forbid, a poet not use his own trauma. And this is the first poem that I wrote about it. So just be conscious of mentions to alcoholism. This poem is called "Recovering Dumbass." I'm a dumbass because I thought it could slow my stutter. I'm a dumbass because I thought it was cool. I'm a dumbass because Dad told me that we had it on both sides. I was a dumbass who had to learn the aggravation of forgetting where something was. It was right in front of your face, fucking idiot. Learn how embarrassing it was both to use my dad's emergency credit card and never tell my doctor whenever he asked, have you done any drugs or drank alcohol for 2 fucking years? One, how maddening my daydreaming was when I was alone. Do you know what it's like to not feel in control of your own body? Or when your mind puts you in a nightmare scenario, like you're behind the wheel, embarrassing your family, killing yourself, or God forbid, someone else who made the mistake of being in the way of a dumbass drunk? Do you know what it's like to feel a compulsion whenever you see that new fancy Jack Daniels flavor? And you don't even like Jack because it's for an asshole. I was a dumbass, but I'm recovering. Recovering because my dad locked up my booze. Recovering because I learned from that 2-year stupor. Recovering because my memory isn't nearly as shit as it once was. I was a dumbass, but I'm recovering. And it's because of my dad and my friends merely saying, I'm happy for you, man. I was a dumbass, but I'm 10 months sober. I'm recovering.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here with us again. We love having you back here, Neil. Thank you. All right. We're just gonna keep rolling like we do. We're gonna go. I'm sorry, is it Liv and Kate? Yeah? Cool. Liv, Kate, you're gonna be on deck. But this next homie, if you meet her in a back alley and she tries handing you Pokemon, like starter Pokemon, she's not an accredited professor. Do not take the starter Pokemon from her. Make some noise for Sasha.
Welcome to the Hooligan
I am not an accredited professor. For that, you'd have to turn to Mackenzie. Anyway,
For real.
we're serious.
Favorite starter Pokemon?
I don't. It's okay. I'm still a nerd. I have other things I care about. Okay. So William interestingly read their Sharon Olds play off and I was planning on reading mine. Except mine, unlike William's, is about my mom's first year of sobriety. So this is the part where we're continuing the theme related to sobriety and family dynamics and that kind of stuff. So this is called I Go Back to 1986 to Share a Cigarette with My Mother. 1. Among the children who sat outside the AA meeting, I remember asking, does your mom scream for no reason? I don't remember her name. I remember her face. Yes, she said. These were the only Al-Anon meetings I attended. 2. I was a child of thrashing in the mall. I was a child of a whole cookie jar eaten in 2 hours beside a television. I was smiles and screaming pigtails. You told me the way I eat sugar is the way you used to drink. I was 6, a disappointment in waiting. 3. They did the best they could, you said. The unsaid things sting of leather and metal smack. When you are that version, you echo a yell electric. You paint shadows from a cave of childhood. That was the 50s, sister says. Everyone hits their kid. Our mother chose to fight when they expected her to obey. How far back does the lightning travel to hit every child in this bloodline inadequate? How long were you asked silent? Do we all look for the same drug to make a radical quiet? Is there ever quiet? 4. We know he asked you to stop, that his brother asked his wife to stop too. Their infant and 3-year-old were also living among her empty bottles. You stopped. She didn't. Sometimes I look at my cousins with stories of thrashings and hidings in closets. I wonder who I would be if you had never stopped. 5. Sister remembered the sound of you screaming in your bedroom all day. She remembers the scream from my mouth, a hungry, suckling babe. She remembers how Dad would bring me to the bedroom. For a time, you and I sat, and it would be quiet. 6. I remember 1986 by the smell of cigarette smoke on your clothes. In the family movie, you have a dirty blonde perm. You sit on the stoop while sister and I trike a sidewalk. I know the bitter poison smoke is just a quiet where swallowing disappointment feels easy. I wish I could travel through the VCR and television, sit beside that version of you while you are wrapped in bitter smoke. I wish I could hold your hand, ask you what you needed to make peace with. Would you even tell me if I arrived as my middle-aged self to tell you that I know that you're courageous? Sometimes I wonder what version of you will finally feel like she's enough.
Shout out to vulnerability. We're all getting vulnerable here tonight.
Yeah.
We're all in our feelings. We like feelings here.
Yeah. The weather.
Weather?
I don't know.
Okay.
Warm weather makes me emotional.
Okay. On deck is Nick Todd. But this next homie was previously arrested for owning illegal Yoshi farming.
Illegal Yoshi farming?
I don't know, brother. Just happens. You're the one with the rap. Make some noise for Lip Kate.
You need help?
Nah, I got it. I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Hello, everybody can hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
How we doing tonight, y'all?
Woo!
Hell yeah! That's what I like to hear. All right. Well, I got some new stuff coming in here, you know. This is my first time. This is my first time ever coming here, so I'm very glad. Anyway, this is a poem I wrote about my experiences being in cafes. I just love them so much. And I thought, this would be a very nice thing to write about, and why not?
Yeah.
Cafe, I appreciate you. What a mysterious place. Here lies a wondrous opportunity to fall in love. Yellow lights are hung around, illuminating its warmth, welcoming you to relax. Windows give a glimpse of the outside world. Paintings are hung around for their beauty and appreciation. Wooden tables spread nicely, waiting for their guests. Wooden chairs accompany the tables. They too await. Sizzling is heard as the coffee is finished, leaving aromas of earthly scents, croissants, muffins, cookies, sandwiches, scones, and bagels are vividly displayed, ready to be eaten. Soft chatter is spoken with, "How's the day going?" or "How do you do?"
Guests smile at one another with kindness and acceptance. Keys tap along the keyboard of words not yet spoken. What a wondrous facade I wish to own one day. Thank you.
Big man. All right. Well, Liz King, this was your first time here. So, everybody stop. Nikolai needs.
Wait a minute.
Finish chewing. Finish chewing.
I did finish chewing.
Take your time.
Thank you. All right. I'm gonna count to 3, and on the count of 3, all together. And it's on the together. We're all gonna say loudly, "Please come back." Audience, can we do that?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Please come back. Woo. Okay, guys.
When did we get like exclusive rights to like?
Stop me. If you try
Next time I'm just bang.
if you try, you'll be able to.
I know.
Pay my hospital bill.
Anyway, Ray, homie, you were gonna be on deck. But this next homie, you know the paintings that hang in the castle, Mario 64, that like bring you to the different worlds and stuff like that? This homie painted them.
Whoa.
So let's give a big round of applause for Nick Todd.
All right. I have something that is edited shit. I wrote it while waiting in the airport, and I was just looking around, observing what everyone was up to. It's called Airport Zombies. Heads down, phones out. How many of them are there? It seems a rare thing to see an unbent neck. Zombies have no borders, only poison. Everywhere I look, slumped shoulders, weighed down by infinity, swallowed, curled into their terminal, their bodies left behind, beside their luggage, waiting to be told to fly. What does it take to look up and awaken?
Nick Todd, was this your first time here as well?
Second time!
I recommend the new Powerful Bolt. It's really yummy.
Nikolai is going to chew into the microphone.
Dude, I know how much just George alone hates that. I can handle him complaining. I'm not gonna have to deal with the community at large. I'd be very sad. And I don't want to be very sad. All right, okay, everyone calm down. No. Similarly to what we did however many minutes ago that was, I'm getting there. I'm gonna count to 3, and instead of saying, "Please come back," we're gonna say, "They came back." Audience, can we do that? Woo! Good enough. 1, 2, 3. They came back. Woo!
Listen, you had one top.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never said I'd be good at it. Don't
All
make
right.
it perfect, Mikey boy. Don't get mad at the perfect.
I am perfect. Guys, we're getting closer to our feature.
Oh my God.
Which, if you don't recall, is a showcase of the brilliant students of MCC. Which I'm also an alumni of. So, yeah. We're gonna go into our working section next. So, our dear homie Rikov, you're on deck. But this next homie, I've run out of Nintendo references. Let's give a hand for
Talk
Ray.
about being
Oh wait, no! He's the guy that was making his brother play the games without the controller. He's a bastard.
Only a little bit. All right, this one I just wrote recently. It's about my backpack. It says, "You can't buy this bag. You can't buy this bag." That's not some metaphor yet. You've got to earn that. You can't write a poem about this bag either. I keep all my pens and writing supplies inside of it. My parents got this bag for me for my birthday when I was 13. Not too long after I'd really stopped being able to walk. Sounds like a bad YouTube prank. Giving hiking packs to crippled kids. That's not how I took it. The company that made this bag is out of business. It's gone. And there are very few being resold online. They're expensive. You can't buy this bag. The bag is the poetry. It sat in my room for years, waiting patiently for the day I'd stand up, carry it through the pine woods. You can't buy this bag. It was given to me. It's never had any doubt about the good things that this life has in store for me. You can't buy this bag. It's a great bag. I carry it every single day. It's a lot heavier than I ever thought a bag could be. I have to carry this bag so I don't forget who I am. And I lied. I didn't get this bag for my birthday when I was 13. Back in 2017, someone stole that bag from my campsite. I never got it back. But I've hiked trails with many bags since then. And they're all the bag that I got when I was 13. You can't buy this bag, but I did. Winter of 2021, a man who worked for that company that sold this bag found a shipping container of bags I never sold. You can't buy this bag, but I did. It fits the same as it did when I filled it up with heavy junk. Then I put it on in my room and take a couple steps back and forth. You can't buy this bag, but I did. I carried this bag up to the microphone, and I'm about to walk back to my seat with it, always comfortably heavy on my back. And I guess that's proof enough. You shouldn't listen to anybody who says you can't buy this bag. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Even though you're a scourge to younger brothers everywhere. All right. On deck is going to be a super secret pair of homies. But up next is the homie Rickon. I don't want to spoil his.
Thank you, All right, so for anybody that was at the fundraising event for the Mill City Writers Retreat on Friday, shut up, Mill City Writers Retreat. I promised folks that I was going to share the cento from all of my favorite lines from that event tonight. So I have that. For those of you that don't know, I'm still doing this thing where I just take down my favorite lines from every poetry event that I go to, and I piece it together like a jigsaw puzzle into what is evidently called a cento. I just learned that last Friday. Thought it was an exquisite corpse. I don't know. But yeah, this is short, sweet. It's based off of a bunch of my favorite lines from that event. Origin is not knowing where you come from. It is knowing where the body crawls back to. This legacy sampled from a song released long before this chorus. This family line runs through my veins, yearning for something real and out of reach. In a quiet so vast, we kneel at sand dunes, empty and rootless, the better of two poor choices. When we've forgotten our stage directions, when you've reopened old wounds, they tend to stay longer in the heart of another history. We die here. Instead of moving from start to finish, we keep writing without knowing the ending.
Thank you, Rick. On deck is going to be our good friend Tom, who's going to lead us into the feature for tonight. But as of right now, Ricky, would you like to join me up here as like a poetry megazord and like do something together? Is me and Ricky are the secret people. Like to a new crowd
Is it?
Say something funny.
Is it National
now.
Poetry?
Fix.
Is it National Poetry?
Yeah, it is.
Is it National Poetry Month? Isn't it?
Yeah,
Is it?
sure.
I have to. Okay. Anyway.
It's a good thing about a poetry event.
Yeah, we're gonna do a poem together. Can we have some random words from the audience for Mike and I, so we can make up a poem?
Doubloon.
I want the balloon.
You got that? You remember that? All right.
Maybe getting your own words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any.
Someone said cumin scuff, right? That's what I heard. That's what I got.
Science.
What?
Science.
Science. I'll take science.
Yes, nice. And I need one more for my side. 7, 8, 9.
Can I
Great.
get one more for mine?
No.
Okay, you got that? Oh, perfect. All right. And to help Mike and I, this is our slight warm up to get y'all ready for the feature, all right? So if you think you need to poop, this is a good time to poop. All right, but Mike and I need
What an indictment.
we need a question that we're going to answer together. An easy question.
Where's the hidden treasure?
What do you think, Mike? What's the question we're getting?
Not that love. What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
What is love? Let's do this. Oh, you talk or? Oh.
I'm a switch. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, we're holding hands.
All right.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
There's a hurt that sounds like a frequency running away.
Traveling over the seas of my heart.
Have you ever dissected a heart and found all your lovers' names as blood vessels?
Nope.
Have you ever dissected a heart and found all of your future's lovers' names as blood vessels?
Nope.
There is a human scuff inside of the cavity where you once was there.
Yeah. That was one of the words.
There is a giggle inside of the scuff. Your heart is two hands held together this big.
A heart isn't like what you normally draw that looks like a butt. It does kind of look like two hands together.
Have you ever put two hands on a butt? That is what a heart looks like. A heart looks like Mike's first word and my second.
My first word was doubloons.
No, singular, not plural.
My second word is a hungry, an appetite. 6, 7, 8, 9.
I think you had cumin at one point.
I think you've had
Human.
at one point. Thank y'all so much.
All right. What? All right. Hopefully you've cleared your bowels out by this point. With that being said, guys, we are just about to get to our feature, but we did want to make sure that we highlighted the homie Tom leading into it. So let's make some noise.
Also going to happen
see all the Middlesex Community College faces. Last year, we lost a powerful voice in the poetry community, poet, translator, scholar, editor, poet laureate of Boston for 4 years, from 2015 through 19. Teacher, professor of creative writing at Lesley University, and director of the MFA program. And I want to read a poem of hers from her posthumous book. Her name is Danielle Legro George, and her posthumous book is a documentary poetry book that comes out of her research. She was a member of the American Antiquarian Society, did a lot of research there, member of the Colonial Society of Massachusetts, and this book is called Acts of Resistance to New England Slavery by Africans Themselves in New England. And the cover poem is going to be in Poetry Daily next month. One of the poems was published in the New Yorker last year. I'm from Framingham, and Crispus Attucks was enslaved in Framingham. And if people aren't aware, Crispus Attucks was the first man killed in the Revolution, considered, in what was later called the Boston Massacre. And her research included research on newspapers and escaped slave advertisements. And we learned a lot about those people by the descriptions, actually. So this poem is called The Two Liberations of Crispus Attucks, and it has descriptions that come from those ads, and it has a quote from the Boston Gazette in it. The Two Liberations of Crispus Attucks. First, from his master, who had this to say about the mulatto fellow, about 27 years of age, named Crispus. How his hair was short and curled, his knees nearer together than common, and his bearskin coat light-colored. That his breeches were made of new buckskin, his yard stockings blue, his woolen shirt checked. What he did not see is what he did not see. The empty space of Crispus. How like smoke, like nothing, like dust, he disappeared. So to write him in, to restore the it of him, the ad and mugshot, paid for and run, October 2nd, 1750, Boston Gazette. Whoever shall take up said runaway and convey him to his above said master shall have 10 pounds, old tenor reward, and all necessary charges paid. And all masters of vessels and others are hereby cautioned against concealing or carrying off said servant on penalty of law. For the weight of him, for the worth of him, who stands presently martyr and master of his wounded and full self, first among men before enslavement, among them the actual unconceptually detained. Crispus, taking the first bullet like a 21st century black man, like a black man in a car to convey him up the freeway, the way to free, the way from tyranny. Well, I'm psyched to be here and to introduce some amazing Middlesex Community College students and alumni as features. The Middlesex Creative Writing Program, I happen to be the coordinator. There are other faculty here from Middlesex Community College who teach amazing classes. We have a visiting writer series that's open to everyone. So people who are not Middlesex students, you can stop on in. Open readings, poetry and fiction. We have a creative writing club if you become a student or not. We have a literary magazine, online literary magazine, deadriverreview.com. You check it out. And a number of our people in this room have been editors of that literary magazine. So if you're interested, there's some sheets around here and there with a QR code to our Middlesex, our Crib Writing at Middlesex website, which has lots of links to events and things going on at the college, and recordings of a lot of amazing poets, fiction writers, crib nonfiction writers who we've had in our series over the years. But want to turn now to our first reader, featured reader. Blue Catalano. She says, could be from Bergen, could be from Wellesley. Her favorite t-shirt says, I'm your man. She studies crib writing at MCC and helps run the college's community garden. Her short story, Panic is Coming On Strong, was published in Dead River Review, and her poem, Nine Sentinel Sonnet, was published and performed at Art on the Trails, Beals Preserve, Southborough, Massachusetts this past summer. In between writing by night and gardening by day, Blue listens to music and reads Walt Whitman for the 1000th time. They were a editor of the Dead River issue 10 a year ago, I think.
Hell yeah!
So please, let's hear it for Blue. Come on.
Everybody has phones. I have paper. So.
Yeah, paper! Analog shit.
Oh shit. I'm gonna try and do it. Hello.
Hi.
So I am just letting you guys know that I have a bit of a long piece. Just so you know, you can like sit down and hear it. Oh my god, this is gonna fall over. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. All right. This is some new shit.
New shit?
A lot of things can kill the soul. Child ward of the state of New York. Who are your children? Father, father, farther, farther. We were once young butterflies, and we ascended. Up, up she went. Up I went. Up she went. Up I went. The youthful butterfly way that things can happen. When you're young and gifted and black, not black. Did she mean it? Was it important? Would she regret the cut, blood clear? She said in Copley Square, I'm going to leave you here. I'll walk away to my black friends, learning our blackness, learning what good that can be. You are a casualty. I'm sorry. Black girl walking away. Black girl I'll never know after this day. And she ascended and I rose. And she ascended and I rose. Until all that ended. But she rose. She got to live as she chose. Bare and loud over there. I'd know her anywhere. 365 years later. And would she care? Would she even know me? The little left butterfly she. Don't you see? Don't you see? Many things can kill the soul. Hey you, human beast, hark, hear the clamoring. What have you done? Open. A soul cannot die. Open. You believe it's dead, foolish human beast. You don't listen and see the least. Beating, tired, hemmed, mired. Your soul is alive. But she cheated on me. I'll never forgive. He'll never forgive. She cheated. I'll never forgive. I tried, I plied, I cried. He fled. He'll never forgive. Quiet. Be still. No one knows how to fix this. Goodbye. Goodbye. We died. A soul cannot die. Learn something, silly boy. Learn something, human beast. Learn about the soul. Learn this at least. She stopped, ascending. Paused in mid-flight, pulled in mid-flight. She fell down and down, lost her light. Watch from the sideline as the bills pile. Watch from the box as the bills pile. What eats the soul? What blurs the sky? The weight is bending my mother's back. She was not forgiven. We are cracked. I step back. Ward of the state of New York. Walk the perfect line. Use that photo, perfect mind, child, ward of the state of New York. You learn to be perfect. Walk the line so you're kept. There's the couch where you slept. Clothes beneath the seat, out of the way. Shh, they'll let you stay. You've severed and floating, clothes in your car, really not much. Your life in a bag. You learn perfect lines, but unforgiving, you declined to be our father. Driving over the bridge, dreaming of a new future you could control. You tried to be whole, and you broke us all. Farther, 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 father, my father, faded into ether. I fell from the air. The bills piled with creaks and cries, we crawled towards repair, hid the tear. You are alive somewhere, child word of New York, never here. My soul, I love you. I feel you, my soul. Help me become whole. Shush, human, silly beast, unseeing, sorrowful girl. My soul, I feel you. Have you enough seed to fly? Remember, attend, human beast, sometime human friend. The soul does not die. The soul can always mend. I will hold you. I will lift you up. Find your way. Ascend. I won't leave you here. My left mother, my love, I will hold you. I will lift you up. Find your way. Ascend. I am here. You can be whole. Many things mend the soul.
So I'm not Tom Laughlin. On the other hand, I am one of the professors at Middlesex Community College in the creative writing program, and I am really delighted to be here tonight and supremely delighted to introduce this next reader to you, because on occasion, when you're a professor, you get lucky and you get to work with someone who's really super talented and who works really hard at her craft. And so I want to introduce this next person. Elizabeth Mood is a creative writing student at Middlesex Community College. She works as a writing tutor in MCC's Academic Centers for Enrichment, where she's excited to help students succeed and is working towards a Level 3 International Tutor Training Program certification with a college reading and learning association. Her fiction work is inspired by magic realism, fairy tales, and finding wonder in unlikely places. When not reapplying her lip gloss, she plunges her story's heroes into their deepest sorrows and writes them learning to laugh again. Here she is, Elizabeth Mood, doing a lovely story.
Hi everybody! The shade is Honey Diamonds, if you're wondering. What brand? This one's Anastasia. Yeah. Okay, I think so. from a short story that I've written. The synopsis is that a man in 1899 comes across a manuscript and he begins to question the authorship and if its contents are really true. It began as a poem, and actually Connor told me a few semesters ago, hey, you could turn this into a short story. It did take me a few semesters and a deadline, but now we're here. Trigger warning for a conversation about suicide, but there's no graphic content. San Siriaco's winds had vivisected homes shingle by shingle until their skeletal foundations rotted in the island humidity. Splintered beams of gray wood solemnly flanked the Americans' arrival. Seymour waded through the wreckage, the torn-off flaps of a barn, a twisted noose of chicken wire, the shattered rainbow of a church stained glass. He sidestepped the sprawl of debris, caked in sun-dried mud from the floods. All the while, his suitcase dragged a path of resistance like a dropped anchor. Seymour Vivant was not bold enough to leave a lasting mark, to crack rubble underfoot, but for the first time in his life, he forged ahead with purpose, determined to weave his own path, even if everyone back in DC had a problem with it. Jesus H. Christ, his mother had said, I have fools for sons. I made an investment to manage from a distance, his brother had protested. A calculated risk is where fortunes are made. As for him, well, I thought nerve compression was a disease of the wrist, not the brain. Seymour's boss had taken the request for a personal holiday between puffs of his cigar. A gray slurry of rain pelted against the office windows, the day's overcast dimming the watercolor plums spread across his desk. The fruit lacked depth, with purples and reds bleeding together as though by a shaking hand. Seymour sank into his seat, unable to shake the thought that he looked dull as his illustrations. Black fruit wasn't fit for a high school botany class, let alone a master copy to be delivered to the lithographer. I wouldn't advise doing things in a rush, his boss drawled. We have a survey planned in a few months' time, once the situation calms down. This about your girl. Frankly, I don't want to receive word that my best illustrator's thrown himself overboard. My wrist, Seymour said. Dr. Walsh suggested rest. Codeine's not enough? He told you to soak up the aftermath of war and Mother Nature? Seymour twiddled his thumbs. It's like I'm watching my life happen to me, said Seymour. This holiday maybe could shock me back to my senses. Barbara can finish the rest. Stop talking. Even if your wrist shot, I'm keeping you on payroll to get a great deal on cigars, said his boss. Rest your wrist, come back in. He shoved the illustration into Seymour's glasses. Stop putting crap like this on my desk. You want me to publish this in a pamphlet? Looks like my dog's balls. Yes, sir, said Seymour. I mean, no, sir. I apologize. Am I answering the order or the question? Only his ex-fiancée, Antonia, took his travel plans in stride. Politely smiling at his steamboat tickets, she said that proximity may have been their love's poison. Seymour proposed that there may, in fact, be truth to the age-old saying of absence makes the heart grow fonder. Both agreed, without any bitterness, that closeness had been their engagement's fatal flaw. After all, they were perfect mirrors of each other, so much that their colleagues had called them two sides of the same coin. Their conversation faded in their usual prison of pleasantries until Seymour made his exit, timidly promising to bring her a postcard. In Puerto Rico, every breath felt like pulling air through a throat lined with flypaper. The sticky weather glued Seymour's palm to the suitcase's leather handle, even as his grip strength melted between his fingers. He swapped to his non-dominant hand once the pinpricks of numbness began to spread. Dr. Walsh had warned him only rest could reverse the course of nerve compression before his days at a drafting table were over. But after the excruciating slog to San German, Seymour would kick the suitcase down the road if it came to it. He'd come too far to turn back now. The road forked at a signless signpost, useless to him as the damp address inside his breast pocket. He squinted at the road's standing guide, a wooden carved saint with a railroad spike lodged through its head. You know, my brother thinks something similar happened to me, said Seymour, gesturing to his head. The statue gazed down with a forgiving smile, its curved palms beckoning west. The buildings stood with their masonry intact, even without shutters and windows. Forgive me, he said to the statue, but I've prayed and prayed, and maybe I've misunderstood this manuscript finding its way to me as an answer. Seymour's confession did not make his suitcase grow any lighter. Inside, underneath his shirts and slacks, the manuscript sat heavy in its cardboard box. He struggled to pull the spike free, to return a little dignity to the statue, and weigh the karmic scales back into his favor. Better 100 miles an hour through wood than someone's skull, isn't that right? He said. Even if wood doesn't feel any pain to take a hit for someone else, it's still very selfless. The scrabbling of claws against brick broke his concentration. Seymour peered around the statue, where a dachshund with a crooked underbite lifted its stubby leg. Seymour snapped the fingers of his good hand to get the dog's attention, scolding it before it could damn its little sausage body to hell. With a playful growl, the dog bounded at him and pulled on the hem of his pants. Seymour stooped down to shove him off. The dog's body was plumper than most roaming strays, and a glint of sunlight bouncing off its brass tag immediately caught his eye. Seymour flipped it over to read the engraving. Salchichon, C. Ramon de Sarden, Rosario Bajo, Patrona Suarez y Cruz. He pulled the address slip from his breast pocket. The second and third lines matched the address telegraphed by the publishing house, and on the final line, the last name Cruz matched the man he was looking for. The afternoon was spent trailing after the dog. It led him past abandoned homes with boarded windows, then past a group of men hammering away on a general store's damaged rooftop. The men regarded him with suspicion, but waved at the dog like a familiar friend and pointed west when the address on its collar was read aloud to them. The dog stuck close until they made it to an uphill path. The flat-roofed home had fresh, unpainted shutters that stood out against its ivory. The front door was a large arch, while a statuesque second-story balcony was held up with Doric columns. The dog pranced onto the property and disappeared into the shrubbery, leaving Seymour to proceed alone. Down the crooked path, Seymour's gait slanted like the wind-swept palm trees lining the path. Their bent backs were molded by trade winds, then forced into a permanent bow by the hurricane. Seymour's head tilted, more attuned to the lean of the landscape than his final stretch of destination. The circumstances of his visit weren't ideal, but he hoped that Osea Suarez saw him as an upright, uptight gentleman, and all would be forgiven. Seymour reached for the address slip in his pocket. He was blotting the sweat from his brow when the double doors in the second-floor balcony slammed open. A woman stormed out, bursting into the stifling heat like a cool gale. Seymour couldn't take his eyes off of her. The woman's tan hands gripped the iron guardrail. Shoulders rolling, the starched ruffles on her sleeves bristled in sharp, clean lines. It was dynamic, a confident flick of the wrist if he were to draw her. She was swathed with white cotton, bristling inside a silhouette that was 5 years out of date. The woman hunched over the rail, her thin neck stuck out like a wounded bird, sucking in its dying breaths. Seymour hurried down the path, unable to look away. A splash of violet ink dripped down the woman's shirtwaist, slick as if bleeding right out her heart, as if it poured out of her endlessly. Unpinned chestnut ringlets corkscrewed down her face and obscured her expression. She rocked her body against the railing again and again, building in ferocity like she was mustering up the courage to throw herself over. Seymour dropped his suitcase. "It's too low a drop," he shouted. Her head whipped towards him. "Sorry, what I mean is," he continued, "is that you can't die." The woman's lips moved, but he couldn't make out what she said. "That's right," he said. "I'm interested in fascinating subjects that capture the imagination." The front door flew open. A pale man with a thick black mustache and the brim of his straw boater pulled low walked out. Under his eye was a shallow, red scrape that looked like it had been cut by a comb. He rubbed it, his thick fingertips smudged with violet ink. The man shoulder-checked Seymour as he stomped down the path, each step landing like he wanted to trample the earth flat. The woman on the balcony screamed. Seymour didn't understand the words that followed, but their rage transcended the barriers of language. She hitched her skirt, bending a knee to wrench a buckled shoe off her foot. Her arm wound back. With all the might in her shrieking body, she threw her shoe over the railing. It sailed like a clay pigeon over Seymour's head, spinning under the island's indigo sky, and smacked into the back of the pale man's head.
and knocked his hat clean off. But he didn't dare look back. If he did, the pale man would have seen the woman arm herself with a second shoe. Well, that's
What up? Hey, yo. Good to be home. Thank you to the organizers. You all. I'm also not Tom. I'm Jonathan Bendia, they, them, and I'm here to introduce a friend. So, yeah, Eliezer as Engerman is a poet, writer, self-described, perpetual self-obstacle. A Middlesex Community College alum and current student at UMass Lowell, Ez spends his spare time in existential crisis, ADHD paralysis, getting bit by his cat. Joke. He hopes to become a librarian, never to escape the labyrinthine halls of academia. I look forward to hearing, I hope, some ugly poems tonight. Ez.
You want to help with the mic?
I'm totally moved here because I can't really stand for like 7 minutes straight. So we're gonna sit.
Comfy.
Cool. Comfy shit. So I have some poems, as I do. All right. So a couple of these I've read here before, but I like them, so I'm gonna read them again. All right. So we're gonna start off with an ugly poem. Yeah. I think of myself, therefore I am a concept. I'll become a pile of bones with delusions of grandeur, delusions of walking upright and going about my day, paving undesirable paths with excuses for the hours I've wasted, hours I've boxed up and sent through the shredder, running circles or used as bedding for the overworked hamster, running circles around my frontal lobe, chewing wires with reckless abandon. I choose to defer responsibility. I choose to live in an empty room rather than organize a future mess. I make myself a spectacle because there are only so many ways to be different. Upon closer inspection, I'm just a collector of how other people see me. I fearfully hoard their perceptions of me, hiding them under my bed and in the pockets of my coats and inside my pillowcases and in my dresser drawers until I can't hide them anymore and everyone can see how much I care. I want to look in the mirror, but my image disappears around the corner. I run to chase it, desperate to catch a glimpse of the face I wear, but my legs melt from under me as the magic runs its course, soft as gossamer, unbelievable as any common excuse. What do I look like to a passive observer? Just a child standing in an empty room, throwing a temper tantrum. Just a teenager tearing a book apart from the spine, screaming for help at a pitch intolerable to the human ear. I've meandered through lofty poetics, folding my feelings into pretentious paper birds, too dainty to touch without risking their delicate wings. I've buried myself in careful analyses of my emotions, thousands of pages of speculation and attempts to preempt damage. Instead, I've inflicted new damage in the distance from myself, uncomfortable in the solitude it provides. I am a concept, an empty room with all my paper birds. Here we go. Choosing to be uninformed until I inform you is in fact a choice. I was the friction that caused you to look closer, made it impossible for you to be ignorant, and you're mad at me for it. Honestly, understandably, I would be mad too. In fact, I am mad that so many people can choose not to care. Choosing to be uninformed is in fact a pattern. It's a quilt that quietly shields you from the horrors of the world. A quilt you can use to cover your mirrors, mourning the world you thought you lived in. I gave you an opening, an open book, an open portal, but you chose to shut it. Your choice. How could I choose to be comfortable when anyone doesn't have the choice to look away? So we're moving to a little bit of new shit. Alright. So this is another ugly poem. There is poetry in my bones. Ancestral knowledge of love and grief permeates my flesh, pricking webs along my arms and tapping my blood like a maple tree. Thick red drops tell my story and soak into the earth. My soul spills out through my parted skin, and my bones live on in the dust we share. We live in poetry, build our houses and roads in it, filling our gas tanks with rhythms and rhymes, sewing threads of connection through dusty air, careful words revealing my pedantic nature. Cosmic monkeys on celestial typewriters outline infinite existences, while the wolves inside me behave like wolves in captivity. Alphanumeric alpha, circling, constantly locked in Ouroboros, eating each other's tails.
You've only been gone for 4 minutes.
I have more. All right, here's another new one. A big poem. Something. I move on a geologic timescale. Every morning I awake as a mountain, ancient and wild. Ice breaks on untouched springs when I rub the sleep from my eyes. Avalanches tumble with the rise and fall of my chest, and dust settles into the aches and pains. I excavate my feet from their tectonic slippers, uprooting old-growth forests to extend my knees. A broken doll in a pristine box, smooth porcelain, spider-web with cracks, ball-jointed dolls slipped at the neck, pouring to the lowest possible point, moving through hourglass sand. My body is beyond my years. In pain and in degeneration, I am beyond my years. In the curl of my spine, the slip of my joints, the aches that accompany me daily, expected but hurt. I turn to stone one day at a time, going gray right from green. You may find my suffering in preoccupied countdowns. Expectations of degeneration will follow me down in your own years. Acceptable suffering in time. Okay, so I'm gonna do two other. Here's an older one, some older shit.
Oh,
Fat drops of rain on the windshields are hopeful. They see us together in here, my hand on your thigh. I kiss your palms and they laugh. Their patters cry out in pure glee. They chatter and gossip with one another, exchanging messages and sideways glances. These drops must know how badly I want you. Heat from our bodies leaves a thick curtain on the windows. Rain pulls at the condensation, desperate yet futile. They scream in frustration, pounding fists against the glass. They long to see you as I get to. I twirl your soft hair between two fingers. The creeping cold feels nice on our hot skin. I think the rain will burn holes in me. I swear the rain dissolves you as you walk away into the darkness. I'll do one more. This is some brand new shit that I finished earlier today, right before I left. I think I've read part of this. So this is called Thought Soup.
I like that.
I wish I could make the contents of my brain easily digestible for you. I pour everything into a big bowl, seasoned to minimal miscommunication. Chunks of my consciousness turn into tasteless gray meat, over-ruminated until it can break your jaw from one poorly timed bite. Tasteless pain, ugly sludge, overcooked in presumptions of consumption. I cut my request, chop my hopes, and smooth out rigid words into something beyond blended. Pre-masticate my analysis to be digested without worry, without complication. Carve out the nuance like the eyes of potatoes I waited on too long in the dark. I'd uncomplicate my world, incomplete my words, salt to taste.
And our final feature in our Middlesex special night here is Connor Burrell. Connor's a grade writing student at UMass Lowell and a proud graduate of MCC. His work has been published in Dead River Review, issues number 9 and 10. He was a Dead River Review editor in my course and loved it. And he loves writing fiction and has a dream of one day becoming a published novelist. He plans to attend graduate school in pursuit of teaching, and he is one of the amazing organizers of the Untitled Open Mic. Connor Burrell.
I just want to say how great this night has been. I'm a proud MCC alum, and it's great that you're doing this. So this is a heavy piece of fiction. So there are going to be some trigger warnings. Trigger warning for subjects of suicide, death of a pet, alcoholism, and firearms. So please take care of yourselves. It's called The Man. A light mist coats the dark evening sky above Chelmsford Animal Hospital. I check my watch. The glow of the screen illuminates my face as I emerge from the entranceway. It's 8:23 p.m. The door creaks as I push it open. My muddy boots travel from the brown welcome carpet onto the dew-sapped concrete. The door swings shut as I look back. A green border with glass panes fill the void in between. The thick air of the night hugs my light brown Carhartt jacket as I inhale the deep petrichor. I look down. I grip his red leash tightly with my left hand and his brown unlashed collar in my right. I brush my callous thumb over the stitch engravings. Oakley. My fingers curl tightly against the rigid piece of leather. I want to cry. I want to let my tears dissipate into the water-soaked stone underneath my feet, but I don't see what good that would do at this point. Oakley is gone. I slowly walk to my old pickup truck parked in the corner of the rectangular-shaped parking lot. I stop at the door of my trusted metal steed and shift the collar into my left hand to free up my right. I search for the keys in my back right pocket. As I fumble around, I watch the mud from my boots mix and swirl with the water runoff as it streams down the slanted parking lot. My eyes settle on the god-awful parking job with the back tires of the truck clearly a foot over the white line. Where the fuck are my keys? I pull on the truck handle in frustration and nearly fall over as the door swings open. I notice the key still in the ignition on the right side of the worn leather steering wheel. I must have been in such a rush. My thoughts trail off as I pull myself up and feel my work jeans settle into the plush cloth cushion. I turn the key, chug, 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 I can smell the faint stench of gasoline as it fills the cabin. Then I pull the door shut with a thwop. I sit there for a few minutes staring at the yellow and green trim building where I left Oakley's body. The signature tick, 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 tick of the leaking manifold gaskets humming in the background. With a tap of the gas, the truck lurches forward. I watch the yellow and green hospital slowly fade from my grease-covered rearview mirror. I turn left at the green light onto Hunt Road and then again onto High Street. I slow down and throw on the left turn signal, rotating the wheel as the truck falls into my steep and narrow driveway. It's basically a half oval with 2 steep entrances. I slide out from the truck and my boots plop into the wet grass as I close the door. I press the lock button twice and hear a small beep. I gaze at the dark outline of my house as I approach the front door. It's a small, worn yellow Craftsman with a covered front door that leads to a small porch. I used to play guitar with Oakley here. I would strum along on my old acoustic Martin, and he would lay there next to me and listen. I look to my left as I fumble for the house keys, staring at the sagging roof of my detached garage that held all the junk I had accumulated over the years. Every Sunday, Oakley and I would ride around the truck looking for yard sales to buy things. Most of it was useless crap, like the small oak dresser with a missing leg I had picked up 2 months ago. But it gave the two of us something to do. I inserted the worn brass key into the keyhole and the door opens with a solid click. I close the door and place the collar and leash on the black night table next to the door and slowly begin to untie my muddy shoelaces. I picked up that table years ago off some old woman on Facebook Marketplace. I slide the right shoe off, then push the left off of my foot, getting my toe and my damn sock wet in the process. I retrieve the collar and leash and slowly walk down the narrow hallway adjacent to the wood-finished stairs. The old planks underneath my feet creak and groan as I enter the kitchen and living room area. I place the collar and leash onto the oak dinner table. I want to cry again, and I do. I wipe the new tear from my eye and travel into the kitchen. I open the liquor cabinet and pull out a nice bottle of Woodford Reserve. I open the cherrywood cabinet to the left and retrieve a nice crystal glass with star-shaped engravings on it, a birthday present from my brother Luke 5 years ago. The cork of the whiskey opens with a plunk, and I pour it until about half the glass is full. I take a sip and let the bitter gasoline trickle and burn down my throat. My stomach rumbles as the poison finds its new home. I place the bourbon onto the black granite countertop and close both cabinets before walking past the dinner table into the living room. I don't bother to turn on the lights. I shouldn't advertise this. I slide open the drawer of the night table close to my makeshift bed on the couch, positioned right next to Oakley's bed, and pulled out my gun, a Smith & Wesson 6.86. I check the chamber and note 3 cartridges inside. I lift my keys from my pocket and pull the safety key from it and start it into the gun. I turn it and feel it twist. I take the key out and place it onto the night table before sliding the drawer shut. I look down at Oakley's bed next to the couch. Ever since the pup had gotten sick, I started to sleep downstairs with him. I walk back to the dining room and pull a sturdy oak chair out from the table and sit at the other end. I sip the whiskey before pulling the gun to my chin, cocking the safety down with a metallic click. It was here with the chamber pressing deep into my skin that I cry again. I feel the slight trickle of water meander its way down my cheek. I close my eyes and let the weight transfer from my fingertip to the smooth metal trigger. I pull it, and a soft click echoes through my jaw. I open my eyes and pull the gun away. I examine the gun, brushing my rough callous thumb over the smooth stainless steel barrel. Of course, you piece of shit, Smith & Wesson would misfire. I should have brought a Glock. I chuckled slightly to myself in disbelief, and I set the gun gently onto the table and down the remaining liquid poison in my liquid glass. Burning liquid trickles down my throat as I close my eyes. I can see Oakley as a puppy, his light and fluffy fur sticking all over my worn green and blue flannel. I push myself onto my feet and walk back into the kitchen, retrieve the bottle of Woodford Reserve from the counter, and settle my sore back into the hard oak chair by the table. I open the cork with a plunk and take a swig straight from the bottle. Who needs a glass anyways? I take swig after swig until the bottle is nearly empty, and the room slowly begins to slip back and forth from under my vision. I feel as if my stomach is a kerosene lamp burning as bright as the sun. I reach for the gun, fumbling to get my fingers hooked around the handle. I point it at the wall, press the release latch on the left side of the frame, and empty the bullets before re-engaging the safety with a click, click. I set the gun and bullets onto the table. I slowly rise from the chair and lean my right hand hard into the solid oak table. I reach for Oakley's collar and leash and miss them entirely on the first attempt. I grab them on the second. I hang onto the railing as I slowly haul myself up the wooden stairs, each step creaking as I do. This is my first trip to my bed alone in years, and all my drunken ass can hope for is that Oakley would visit me in my dreams tonight. Thank you.
Yo, let's give it up for all of the wonderful, wonderful writers tonight. Yeah, that was a beautiful piece, y'all. Shout out to MCC, all the wonderful students of your student alum or future student. Hey, shout out to y'all. And also shout out to the faculty and all the support systems for making your writing and your creativity happen. With that, thank y'all so much. We're here every first and third Wednesday. We're going to be cleaning up in a little bit, but feel free to connect if folks have that capacity. Check out our community library. Say what's up to a poet. Dragonfly Cafe will be closing in a little bit, 9 o'clock, and yeah, if we can have the poets, our features back on stage, and faculty, we'll do a group photo before we head out. But thank y'all so much. Y'all been sweet. Y'all been wonderful. Lowpoetry.com. Low Poetry.